We have a long history of working with customers. Energy 2030 gives us the opportunity to deepen those relationships. We wanted to hear what customers had to say. We wanted our customers to inform our plan for the future, so we reached out to customers and had them tell us what they would like to see in their energy future. The Energy 2030 framework came out of those conversations.
The community is getting more engaged in energy issues and is interested in seeing changes in the energy industry.
No other Wisconsin utility is setting goals the way we have set goals. So this is truly an unprecedented effort.
This is critical for my kids and for our grandchildren that we get this right. And MG&E is in a unique position where they're actually actively listening to the community.
And if you think of the Energy 2030 framework, it's like setting a point on the horizon. The plan gets built out over time. It takes shape as technology evolves. It takes shape as we understand our customers' needs and wants. You can't wait for every question to be answered before you move. You need to set a direction. And by setting a direction and starting to move in that direction, it'll evolve and change, but at least you're taking that first step in that 1,000-mile journey.
Going forward, reliable energy remains critically important.
The health and safety of our community is in our hands, and it's an obligation that we take very seriously.
We have a fundamental obligation to provide energy 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, instantaneously for all the customers that we serve.
There's no break, there's no off season. Everyone needs reliable electricity all of the time. You don't want the hospital going in the dark in the middle of surgery. You don't want it to be negative 20 degrees on a cold January day and the lights and the heat to go out. Right now, the system is designed based on the peak usage in a particular year, plus a reserve, kind of an extra in case of contingencies, is how the system is designed.
While the system must be ready to meet maximum demand, energy efficiency is a priority.
It is a very widely held value here that we all use energy efficiently and wisely.
It's part of our obligation to the community, it's part of our obligation to the planet.
Related to that is energy conservation, conscious decisions to use less energy, not to turn the lights on unless you have to.
What can we do working with our customers to encourage conservation? And that's something that we're going to be working with customers on an ongoing basis for many, many years.
So the more energy efficiency people implement and the more conservation they engage in, the less kilowatt hours they use, the less money MG&E takes in, but the need to provide that universal service for all customers hasn't changed, and the system still needs to be paid for.
The grid is a shared community resource. It's a resource that is critical to the health and safety of our community. When people pay their bill, they're paying to support the critical resource. So we take the money from the bill and we reinvest in the grid. We have to make sure that we are prepared for the technologies of the future.
People want to put solar panels on their own roofs. They want the ability to subscribe to renewable generation.
We have to embrace that technology.
While some customers choose to use new technology to generate their own power, they still need to rely on the grid at times.
The sun is only shining for a particular amount of time. That customer is still relying on the remainder of MG&E's system, and MG&E does need to stand ready to provide full service to that customer at any time.
How do you assign the cost of this critical asset to people who use it differently?
You can't just pull one line out and then have overall system costs be less. The whole system is interconnected.
One of the objectives of the framework is to manage our collective energy use to help keep energy affordable into the future.
It's a challenge. It's undoubtedly a challenge. And I think MG&E is taking important first steps in trying to even just think about this issue and engage in conversations.
New technology like solar photovoltaics have an important role as MG&E moves toward a different and cleaner energy supply mix.
It's just important as we think of new technologies to think in terms of cleaner technology that reduces the carbon footprint, reduces the impact on the environment.
Societally, I think those are fantastic benefits.
As we look to the future, the mix that I think that we will see is a transition away from coal. I think we will see more natural gas, and we will see a transition to wind and solar and perhaps other technologies as they evolve.
I want them to have a much cleaner mix than they have right now, and going forward I want to make sure that anything that they replace, anything that they build is clean and renewable.
At the core of what we do is provide safe, reliable energy. And we always have to have a source of energy we can count on to serve our communities. So we need to talk in terms of a transition. The speed at which technology improves is going to be important. The Energy 2030 framework will evolve and be built out as we get more customer input, as we see the technology evolve, and as we get regulatory approval to move forward.
We really do try to take a long-term view. We're a community energy company. We're committed to this community. We want it to survive and thrive and be vibrant.
When people ask me the question about, can you hit the goals? What are you going to be doing? We have a track record. We did it with our Energy 2015 plan, and we plan to do it again with the Energy 2030 framework.